Here are the vocab words for our 3.1 lesson. So they should be review words. Let's go over them just so we can all be clear about when we're referring to these words, what do they mean? So these are all words that have to do with division. And when we are using division, right, we're putting things into groups, we're dividing them out equally. So the dividend is the number that will be divided. So this is what you're starting with. I always like to ask myself, what do I have? So I have 3 cakes. That's what I have. That's what I'm going to be breaking up. That's my dividend. So next we have our divisor. And this is the number which we will divide by. So, right, I have those 3 cakes and maybe I want to split them into 12 pieces. 3 divided by 12, okay? Or maybe I have 42 pounds of granola, right? That's what I have, my dividend. And then what am I going to divide it by? That's my divisor. Then how many I want in that group or how many groups I want. So the quotient is the answer to a division problem. So when we talk about quotients, these are something that you need to know. You might see a problem that says, what is the quotient? You've got to know. You need to divide. And then we have our remainder. This is the leftover part. It's the part that does not fit into a whole group. So the quotient is kind of the whole groups that you can fill and complete those groups. And then our remainders are what are the leftover parts. So make sure you finish writing all of those definitions so you have those to go back to. So now we've got to decide, how do we use those words and how do we set them up? So first we have an expression. That's just the problem without the answer. So when we are doing this problem, we always put what we have first. What we have, so and that might even be a good thing to add here. This is what we have. So you start with what you have. So we start with the dividend and then we divide it. Be this faster if I do this than fighting the divide sign. So you take the dividend, what do you have? What are you starting with? And then you divide it by the divisor. Wow, that was crazy typing. Okay. Dividend divided by divisor. Every time when I set it up as the expression, it looks like this. If I do it backwards, right? If I have 12 apples and I want to put them into 3 baskets, 12 divided by 3. So let's give an example here. 12 divided by 3 is 4 per basket. If I say I have 3 apples and I wanted to divide them into 12 baskets, that means I've got to cut up my apple into pieces and then put pieces into the basket. So the order you write them in matters, okay? So in this algorithm, when we're doing our division box, the dividend goes inside. I always remember that it's like a little den that it goes inside, right? Dividend. And then the divisor goes on the outside because that's what we're dividing by. This is how many groups I want. So if I have 7/8 of a cake. So there were 8 pieces. I ate one, I'm sure I did. And now I want to divide it into 1/8. This is right, what I have. This is the dividend. So it goes first. It would go inside. This is what I want to split it up into. So I divide, the divisor goes second. What do you have? What are you dividing it into? So it's really important that we can determine what's the dividend, what are we starting with, what do I want to break it up into, what goes first, what goes second.